How you doing, guys? DJ AJ 101 here back with a riveting review, as you can see right here above me, of this little guy. I got my hands right here, the Canon Vixia HF G10. Number 1, video quality. Number 2, build quality. And number 3, manual control and the feature set on this camcorder. Now these are the 3 things that I've really focused on because these are the 3 that I've probably used the most. As you guys might know or might not know, I'm not exactly your high-end pro video shooter. I'm kind of a prosumer in a way. I know a bit about cameras and, really like the quality, a high-quality camera to shoot with as far as video is concerned. But I'm not the pro that's always worried about every manual feature, every manual control has to have this perfect in the white balance and all that other good kind of all that other good kind of stuff. So if this review isn't as in-depth as you would like, feel free to ask me questions below and I will try to answer them to the best that I can. But anyways, let's get on with the review. Okay, my number 1 thing that I'm going to start off with here, out of the 3. First of all, video quality on this beats the Sony, which is my previous camcorder, the Sony HDR SR11, hands down. This Canon camcorder probably has one of the best video qualities I've ever seen out of a prosumer camcorder, a camcorder that's really for the prosumer, that has pro features but a consumer-like touch on it. It has an HD CMOS sensor in it, which is a pro CMOS sensor. I'm not filming on it right now because this is the camera, of course, right here. But I will say this, if you guys want to check out my test video clip of this guy, the video is outstanding. I uploaded it in 1080p on YouTube. Even after compression on there, outstanding. Absolutely blew me away as far as quality. Playing back from the camera directly on an HD television is amazing. I mean, you cannot go wrong. And then saving it out of course, is full quality out of your video editor of choice. Of course, mine being Final Cut Pro 10. It is absolutely outstanding for archiving your video footage. Now, this camera, of course, records in 1080p AVC HD format, so if you burn AVC HD discs or Blu-rays, it looks great on them through Final Cut Pro or your video editor of choice, like I just said. And I tell you, if you're really looking for a full HD camcorder, this has to be the one to pick this year. I think it was named the top product at the CES Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas this past year, for good reason. This quality is outstanding, and not only is the video quality outstanding, but I just want to talk a little bit about low light performance. Low light performance on this guy is probably the best I've ever seen from a camcorder of this size. Yeah, this size right here. As you guys might or might not know, again, I also did own the Sony HDR HC1 back in the day. I think it was back in 2005 when that came out. And the low light quality, not good on it. It had a lot of nice manual controls, recorded everything to mini DV tape, HDV tape. Just was really not that good in low light though. Low light quality was just, it was decent at best. This guy though, not a problem with that. For a single sensor camera, it has got to be one of the best low light cams I've ever seen, especially because the sensor is quite a bit bigger, than the previous predecessor of this camera from what I hear. So it definitely gives great low light performance. Of course, regular daylight, indoor light during the day is outstanding. I can't even begin to tell you how great the quality is. Definitely check out the test clip video that I did. I'll leave a link in the description to that video. You'll definitely see for yourself what kind of quality this camera is capable of. On to number 2, build quality. Like I had said, I've been coming from a Sony HDR SR11 camcorder to this guy, and I gotta say, this one, build quality overall definitely makes a good impact. I've never owned a Canon camcorder before, so coming to this guy was a little bit of a change of pace. I've always had Sony's camcorders, and they've always had a great style and a great feel to them. This guy is no exception. It has a great feel, fits great in the hand, but I was concerned about one little nitpick, I guess, of mine with the LCD screen. Just looking at the quality of the display itself is a great display, but when you close the display itself, it feels a little cheap. I don't know if you guys can see that right here on the side. Let me zoom up here a little bit, but it actually hangs a little bit lower, so it hangs out a little bit, and you actually have to close it a bit to get it shut. The quality of build does not seem to be as good as the Sony, but it definitely does come close. I think Sony's been leading the quality of build on their camcorders for a long time in the market. They definitely have a lot of great cameras. But this one, not too shabby on the build quality. Overall, it's a great camera. It's definitely something you could throw in a bag and not have to really worry about, anything falling off or falling apart or getting broken. Build quality on this is definitely pretty good. But I will say that the Sony probably does win in the build category. Standard, considering I've had 3 Sony cameras in the past you know, how many years. Every single one of them's had great build quality. This one falls a little bit short. Just that LCD kind of makes me wonder a little bit on how great the quality is attaching this you know, LCD panel to the side of the camera here. And this is definitely your main point. You want to be able to see what you're shooting. You want to be able to see inaccurate colors and everything, so you can kind of monitor what's all going on. But overall build quality, this is outstanding. Has the lens hood, great new, excuse me, this is a great addition back that I had been missing since my HC1, my Sony HC1. So it's nice to have that back. Nice to have a lot of the controls on this guy as well, which is going to lead me into my third point. And now onto my third point, which is going to be the features and manual controls of this camera. Now, of course, starting off, when you look at the camera itself, you can actually see it as this nice big ring right here, which is actually a nice manual control ring, focus ring right here on the front, as many of you may know. Now, I gotta say, when you're doing close-up shots, this is a dream to use. In the video that I've recorded over the past few months, this thing has always been my top favorite thing when it comes to close-up shots and able to focus right on the fly with that manual control zoom ring. Because as you may or may not know, a lot of cameras are lacking a manual control on the front, on the camera entirely, or it's just maybe a little knob on the side or a little wheel on the side of the camera. It's not actually a full ring, so you can get that full feel of the manual control of how you can focus, you know, whether you want it super precise or a nice soft focus for whatever you may be shooting. This guy definitely delivers on that, as well as the audio. On my last Sony camcorder, there was never really a way to control the audio, and it was always kind of a pain to try and get the levels and the focus that you kind of want to get on the audio, so you can get nice, clear, crisp tone voices and the music as well. And of course, when you look at it, there's always a big thing when it comes to audio. You want it to be nice and crisp and clear. This guy delivers as far as having manual control of the audio, so you can actually take out the wind and do stuff in post-editing, but you can also do stuff right here on the camera. It has a built-in windscreen, which is absolutely outstanding. And of course, like I said, you can monitor the levels. Those have been my experiences of the manual controls that I've probably used the most, and I know that there's probably a ton more that you guys might be wanting to ask about. If you want me to check out one for you, just leave a comment below, like I said. This is kind of an objective review from my point of view, because like I said, I'm not going to use every single feature on this camera, which a lot of people are thinking, you know, you really should use all the controls on the camera before you give a full review of it. But in my opinion, it's always been my thing to always use the ones that I use the most and really focus on what I should be focusing on the most, and then pretty much going from there. So I hope you guys can kind of see it from my point on how I want to give you guys a great review, and I hope that you can kind of appreciate that. Now, if there was any changes that I'd like to make to this camera, there's just a few to a couple. There's not many. Like I said, my main focus on a camera is basically having the few manual controls that's going to help me make a video great, and also great picture, because you got to have great picture. Otherwise, if you don't have the best picture, what do you got? You know, you aren't getting the full expectations out of your camera, and this one delivers by far and away on the picture quality, and I'm greatly impressed with it. But I will say, after using Sony cameras for so many years, I've gotten so used to the Sony touchscreens, which have been really good. They've been super precise and super nice to actually use, even if there's a lot of manual controls that are in the display itself that you have to navigate through the display. This, of course, display is a little bit different. Coming from a matte screen display on the Sony cameras to a glossy on this new Canon, it's been a little bit of a challenge. I don't know if the quality of the touchscreen isn't as good as the Sony's, but I've had some trouble trying to navigate on the screen itself every now and again, because it's kind of like the swipe, kind of like you'd be doing on an iPhone or an iPad. It really hasn't been as good as the Sony, so if there's one thing I would greatly improve on, it would be the LCD panel. Definitely to have an LCD panel like there are on the Sony cameras would be a fantastic improvement, and I think that would be a great improvement for consumer use as well. And of course, it's a glossy display, so if you're shooting outside, you're going to have some debate whether you're going to get glare or not. But of course, you can always use the viewfinder, which there's actually a nice little tip, if you guys didn't know. If you have the viewfinder, it's pushed all the way in right now. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to try and show you. But if you pull it out just a little bit, as you guys can see, there's just a little bit of a gap right here. And that'll actually keep the viewfinder on if you close the panel. So you can obviously look through the viewfinder. But if you happen to close it, I don't know if you guys can hear this, there's that little click in the viewfinder itself. That'll actually put the camera into sleep mode, so you can save battery. So whenever you open the LCD back up again, it'll directly go to the LCD. And then of course you can turn it off or whatever you want to do. But if you do keep it pinched out just that little bit, it'll make sure to default to the to the viewfinder here. So that's a great tip for any of you guys trying to save battery on this thing that, maybe you're thinking, well, it doesn't work. Well, you just got to have it out just a little bit. It's a nice little battery saving tip that I found on this camcorder when I was using it. And another thing, just to wrap it up here, another thing that I definitely would add, it's 10 times optical zoom is what this guy has right here, this Canon. My old camera had 12. It's been a teeny bit of a limitation. Hasn't been much, just a little tiny bit. But if I could, I would definitely like to have the 12 times optical zoom back, because when you definitely need to get those long shots, maybe you're filming a football game and the football field's way out there and you're way back here, and it's a little bit nicer when you have those long distance shots, especially if you're doing live sports like that, to get nice right up and close. So 12 times optical zoom would have been welcome, but I'm surviving with 10, and obviously the picture quality definitely blows away the Sony as it is. So it's a nice little trade-off. I'll trade off 2x zoom, of course, for full 1080p picture quality, which has been outstanding on this camera. So the bottom line is, do I recommend this camera to a lot of people that are maybe prosumers, or just, maybe kids in high school that are really trying to get into the video editing field, maybe thinking about going to college for this? Where's a good place to start? Well, kids, here's what I would say. First of all, if you're in high school and you got this price a little steep, I think this guy's about $1,500, this would be the way to go. If you're trying to get the best quality picture for your home videos, for your movie recordings, for your projects, this is the way to go. I have not seen a camera in this size with one sensor that can pick up what this guy can do. This is the way to go if you definitely want to get the best quality picture. I understand the $1,500 price point is definitely a little bit more expensive, but for the manual controls this guy offers, for the manual controls that you're definitely going to need to produce some great videos, this guy hits the spot. And I don't know what Canon's going to come up with in 2012, just a few months from now, but I think it'll definitely, it'll be an incremental improvement. I don't think it's going to be as big of an improvement as this is. So you might just want to wait till the next new one comes out. This one will become a little bit cheaper, if it isn't already. I haven't checked it out in a while. But I would definitely recommend this camera to any prosumer or really serious video consumer pro out there that really wants great quality in a really consumer portable friendly package. Anyway, guys, this has been DJ AJ 101 here with the review for you of the Canon Vixia HF-G10. I like to kind of ask you guys what you all think about this camcorder. Do you own it? Are you thinking about getting it? Do you have some questions for me? Like I've been saying throughout the video, feel free to leave me a comment, send me a personal message. I will do my best to get back to you. I definitely want to help you guys out with your purchasing decision if I can. Like I said, the manual features that I said that I've used have been the ones I've used religiously. I haven't used them all, mostly because I haven't had to. So if you guys have a question, I'll definitely check something out for you and hopefully get back to you with a response to the best of my knowledge and the best of my ability, and I hope you understand that. But if you like this video, vote up, definitely helps me out. And if you'd like to rate, comment, and subscribe as well, please feel free, because I've obviously said that about a billion times in this video. So we'll go from there. Anyway, guys, this has been DJ AJ 101 here with a review for you of this great camcorder, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one till then.